Hey, I'm Mike Rad, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Real Stories of a Hollywood Bartender. For this episode, I would like to tell you about the time I met the late, great Norm MacDonald. Now, I should first preface this by letting you know that I'm really good friends with Molly Shannon, and when she was a cast member on Saturday Night Live, I got to go to multiple episodes and multiple parties. I was actually at the More Cowbell episode. It was so awesome to see that live. But one of the great things about seeing the show live was the stand-up cast members on the show would do the warm-up, and Norm was always the best. One cool thing Norm did was right before update, while they were in a commercial, he would tell a really strong joke. So right when they went live, he was always coming out of a laugh. And I thought that was so smart. And I really wanted to tell him about how much I liked him, but he was never really at the parties. And I asked Molly why, and she goes, well, he's a big gambler. He's usually at OTB. So after one of the parties, we got into Molly's car and had the driver drive us past OTB. There he was. He was eating soup, betting the races. I thought it was the coolest thing. We didn't stop in and bother him, but it was pretty cool. But years later, I saw that he was playing the Canyon Club in Agora Hills, which was about 45 minutes north of me where I live in LA. So I asked Molly to get us tickets. The first 30 minutes he crushed. And this was right after 9/11. So then he said, I remember the joke, it was something like, he goes, you know, people always come up to me and tell me new ways of dying. And I go, I don't want to hear another new way of dying. They go, no, do you hear the new one? And I was like, what is it? And he's like, well, you're at your desk and you're at your computer, in your cubicle, at your office, and a plane hits you. Well, that walked half the crowd. And then he proceeded to bomb and tell more insulting jokes. I was laughing so hard, but the crowd did not like him. I remember just slapping Molly on the side, like, I can't take it. He was so funny. Then the last half hour, he started crushing again and brought the crowd back on his side. It was one of the most amazing stand-ups I'd ever seen in my life. So after the show, we met Norm, and Norm goes, oh, let's get a drink. But everything in Agora Hills was closed, only a Denny's. And got to talk to Norm for hours. And his father had just recently passed, and he told me that his father died of a heart attack, but everyone was trying to comfort him, going, oh, your father died peacefully in his sleep. And he goes, no, he didn't. I found him. He was on the floor next to his bed. He wasn't in his bed. It's called a heart attack. He was attacked by his heart. And Norm was telling me this. I could tell he was really hurt. And then he said, when he went to the funeral, the priest said, let's all pray for Mr. McDonald to get to heaven. And he said, he went to the priest and said, if we're going to pray for him to get into heaven, why don't we just pray to bring him back to life? I was like, whoa, that's how Norm thinks. Pretty amazing, pretty interesting, and pretty deep guy. I had so much fun talking to him the whole night, and we talked for about 3.5 hours, and we were tired after the show and everything, so we told Norm, all right, we're gonna get going. And he's like, well, wait a minute, you know, I sent my assistant home. Can I get a ride? And I was like, where do you live? And he said he was renting a place in Studio City at the time. So I was like, sure, it's on the way back. So here's Molly in my front seat, Norm in my back, in my 1967 Dodge Dart, where the door barely worked to get open. Like, I had a struggle to get him in. But he didn't mind. And as I drove him back, we had nothing else to say because we talked for so many hours. So we drove back in silence. And it was awesome.